What's up? It's K.Honesty, and I'm about to review Ruthless, Tyler Perry's Ruthless, Season 4, Episode 3. So if you haven't seen the third episode of Tyler Perry's Ruthless of Season 4, turn this video off, go watch the episode, and come back and watch this video. Yeah, please like the video, share the video if you like, hit the notification bell if you like, and subscribe to my channel. Most of all, just like and subscribe. Those are the most important things. It's an easy way and it's a free way to support my channel and get people to start looking in their recommendations and stuff, and I pop up. So yeah, go ahead and like and subscribe right quick. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you a little minute. Thank you very much. Anything I say is my opinions, my expressions. It does not reflect anyone or anything associated with the show. These are my thoughts and feelings and how I feel. Well, thoughts and feelings, how I feel, whatever. I'm not a public speaker, as you can just tell. So I will tend to stutter, pause, try to regain my thoughts. I will be looking to my notes over here, make sure I'm on track with what I'm talking about. You might hear me say and so like 1,000 times. This is how I am. Just try to be as real as I can be. And, is that it? Yeah. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Of course, I got my water bottle. I'm trying to think. Am I forgetting something? Oh, yeah. So I do like to grade the episodes before and after my reviews. I'm actually going to grade this episode, I'm gonna give it an A-. They did good this episode because we finally got some movement. Some always just these two people conversations and in these little small spaces, but now we finally get like outside. We get some movement and stuff. So I liked that. So that's why I say A-. They can't get that plus off me because ain't nothing on the episode happened that made me think like, oh, I need to get that feeling where I'd be like, oh, I did not see that coming. That's how you get that A+ grading from me. Anyways, okay, last chance. If you haven't seen the third episode of Season 4 of Tyler Perry's Ruthless, turn this video off right now because I'm about to spoil the entire episode. And I don't want to spoil it for you if you haven't seen it, okay? Alrighty, let's get into it. So remember the last episode, it ended with Ruth giving Manny the little tetanus shot in his ass cheek. And Daikon walked up and was like, what the hell is going on? So that's the first scene. That's how it starts. Daikon, he asks again, what the hell is going on? He's like, what are you, he's asking Ruth, like, what are you doing with Manny or whatever? So Ruth tries to tell Manny, oh, Manny, just go. Daikon was like, no, Manny, you stay. So Daikon was like, what were you two doing? So Ruth was like, I was helping him. Daikon was like, helping him with what? Ruth was like, I won't talk to you while Manny's standing here. The relationship between Ruth and Daikon is very weird to me. And it gets weirder as this episode goes on. It's just super weird. But yeah, she was like, I'm not talking to you about... Damn, do I have the hiccups? Let me get rid of them first before I spark up. Where am I? So yeah, so Ruth was like, I'm not telling you unless Manny leaves. Daikon still tell Manny, like, don't you move a muscle. Manny apologized and he like, I'm sorry, Daikon. Daikon was like, you fucking her? You fucking Ruth? Manny was like, no, that's not it at all. Daikon was like, well, why are you pulling your pants up? So at first thought, I was like, didn't he walk up and see her, like, see his ass? Like, he was turned with his back towards Ruth. So how are they fucking? I don't know. But apparently, Daikon only seen Manny pulling his pants up. So he didn't see nothing else. He don't see the needle on Ruth's hand, nothing. I don't know. But he was like, you fucking Ruth? Manny was like, no. He was like, so why were you pulling your pants up? God damn. I can't wait till next week when I get my glasses. This is ridiculous. I don't want to pull my phone into frame, but I cannot see. Where am I? Oh, she was like, so Daikon was like, then why are you pulling your pants up? Ruth was like, Ruth says again, I was helping him. But you know what Daikon means, Ruth. Like, he trying to find out what you was helping him with. So Daikon asks again, he was like, with what? So Ruth looks at Manny and was like, Manny, tell him. So Manny was like, I can't, Ruth. Ruth was like, you better tell him. Daikon was like, somebody talk, like y'all talk. Keep talking about tell me. So Manny starts to stuttering and Ruth tries to step off. And I was just like, what? Daikon grabs her up, was like, you ain't going nowhere. Ruth was like, get your hands off me. I am to be the wife of the highest. I am to be the wife of the highest. She swear with that title she could do whatever she want. In some ways, to some extent, she kind of can, but girl, you do too much. So she was like, I'm the wife of the highest. Unhand me. Daikon was like, well, I'll tell the highest that you out here fucking the men. So Manny was like, no, it's not like that. So Daikon tells Manny, he's like, shut up. He's like, you going to the punishment trailer. Manny was like, no, please, Daikon. Daikon was like, well, tell me now. So Ruth says again, I was helping him. Daikon asks again. That's why I said the dialogue be too long. I get that it's supposed to be like the stories and stuff back in the day, but this is just, the dialogue just be dragging. So she was like, I was helping him. She says this for like the third time. Daikon asks for like the third time. With what? So Ruth tells Manny, she's like, drop your pants, Manny. Drop your pants. Manny was like, no, Ruth, I can't. He was like, I can't tell Daikon. I can't tell him. Daikon was like, somebody better start saying something. So Ruth tells Manny again, drop your pants. So Daikon was like, I am about to go to the high. Ruth was like, shut up, Daikon. As they saying that little tiff, having that little tiff back and forth, Manny whips his dick out. Daikon like, you don't tell me what to do to Ruth. No, while they going back and forth, Ruth and Daikon, Manny done pulled his dick out. And Daikon's like, what is that? Daikon's like, what is that? So Ruth tells Manny, she's like, Manny, tell him what happened. So Manny started telling a little fake ass story about him falling on a knife, cutting his dick on both sides and all that. So Ruth was like, you still lying with that fake ass story? She was like, tell him the truth. So I was like, oh shit, like she want him to tell him about Zane or whatever. So that's what Manny get to say. He says Zane's name. And then in this moment, I guess Ruth didn't want to bomb out Zane because she cuts Manny off and was like, Zane was trying to help him because... And then she goes into this whole story that she probably just pulled out of her ass. I was like, damn. I mean, it was a smart-ass story, but it's like... So she tells Daikon that, where am I? So... This stuff, I be blind. Where am I? So Ruth tells Daikon that Elder Mother made a pass at Manny, which could be believable because she always making passes at these young boys, calling them into her trailer, telling them to get naked, doing all types of nasty ass sexual assault to them and stuff. So it's not off, and Daikon probably knows this because as soon as Ruth says that, like she been making passes at Manny, Daikon kind of rolls his eyes like, oh, this bitch still doing that, like type shit. So she tells him that Elder Mother made a pass at Manny and he refused. So she put something in his food to make him fall asleep. And when he woke up, she had cut his dick on both sides. I said, bruh, where do Ruth come up with this shit, bruh? But you know she don't like the Elder Mother, so... But that was crazy that she came up with that. But I was like, how that's going to work when he go to the Elder Mother? She going to be like, I helped that boy. I stitched his dick up. And he told me he fell on a knife. So, I'm like, how that's going to play out? But Ruth tells Daikon all this. Daikon was like, what? Like, are you serious? Like, what? He said, like, what? Like, are you serious? Manny was like, yeah, Ruth's telling the truth. She's telling the truth. So Daikon was like, well, why you didn't tell me, Manny? Manny was like, well, I didn't want to be punished. Then Daikon was like, well, that still doesn't explain why you were out here, Ruth. So Ruth said, I was giving him pain medicine cream for it. So Daikon was like, well, where is it? Ruth looked at his dick and was like, he put it on already. I was like, well, where's the white shit? Or did he rub it in really good? Anyway, she was like, she was looking at this, she's like, he put it on already. Then Daikon asked, like, then why were you standing there while his pants were down? So Ruth tells him, because at first I was like, why she say something about cream instead of just telling him the truth about the tetanus shot? Like, that would explain why his pants was down and all that stuff and why she was there. So I was wondering in the moment why she didn't say that. But then he asked, why was you here, Ruth, while his pants were down? So then she tells him, I had to give him a tetanus shot because the knife that was used on his dick was rusted. So then Daikon was like, well, where is the needle? And then Ruth pulls the needle up. So Daikon, I feel like he buying it a little bit. But you can't never tell with Daikon because he always be like, I will find out, you know. Yeah, so she shows him the needle. So then she was like, I told you, Daikon, I told you what happened. And then she turns to Manny and was like, you can leave, Manny. Daikon was like, you do not dismiss my man. Ruth was like, sorry, Daikon. Daikon was like, if I find out there's more. Manny was like, well, we telling the truth. It's the truth. Daikon was like, all right, get out of here, Manny. That was a clever ass story. I thought they was real loud about to tell him the truth, and I was like, what's that gonna mean for Zane? Because I mean, Zane was defending herself. Like, do they condone? I mean, they obviously condone rape in the compound, but do they condone rape with the soldiers and the women? I feel like Zane wouldn't get in trouble. It would be more so Manny, and that's probably why he don't want to tell the story. But I'm like, nigga, you just told the story to the soldiers. But I mean, the soldiers be in there raping the women and stuff, so they got a friendship, brotherhood with each other. They feel like that shit cool. So yeah, he tells Manny to leave. And that's after Manny steps off, Ruth smacks the dog shit out of Daikon. Daikon's like, what the hell? For him to act like he's so big dog over her every time she do something to him, he look more turned on than irritated than mad. I just be like, okay. That's why I said their relationship is weird to me, because I can't never tell when they just doing shit to be like low-key freaky because they can't fuck right now. Or they actually, I don't be knowing. They relationship weird as fuck to me, like I said. So she smacks Daikon. Daikon's like, what the hell? She was like, don't you ever. She was like, how dare you embarrass me like that? Yeah, I even put right here, I put Daikon low-key turned on. He was like, damn, and start licking his lips. And I was just like, what the hell? So Ruth was like, don't you think I'd be so slow to sleep with somebody of the likes of him, like of Manny? You know, Daikon, you could, don't you dare hit me again. I am not the highest. Cause you know the highest like to get hit and beat up by her and shit. So Ruth was like, you're not the highest. You're Daikon. She was like, and I'm Ruth. She was like, I have the highest and I have you. I was like, oh, okay. She was like, so why would I be caught anywhere near something like that? So I'm still talking about Manny. So Daikon was like, well, why were you helping Manny then? Ruth was like, well, he's one of the strongest men that we have. And we need him, right, to protect the highest. Daikon was like, right. Then Ruth was like, plus he's loyal. Plus Manny's loyal. And he loves you and the Raku. So Daikon puts his finger on Ruth's face trying to say, like, listen. She smacks his hand like, you listen. I'm in my ear like, Daikon loving this shit. So she's like, I am to be the wife of the highest. And I won't let you undermine me or the highest in front of the men. So Daikon's like, I will do whatever I want, Ruth cuts him off like, you will do nothing but say sorry. Daikon was like, you really pushing it. Ruth was like, all I want to hear is sorry. And walks off. I'm just like, whatever. You won't be needing all this. So remember last episode, the highest told Daikon to get rid of that last batch that he had. Daikon went to the drawer and it was gone. So he asked the soldier where River is. So he goes to the men's trailer to grab River out. So he like, River, what did you do? So River was like, what do you mean? Daikon was like, how much of that did you get? How much did you get a highest? And River was like, what are you talking about? He was like, how much of what? Daikon was like, don't play games with me. And River was like, I don't know what you mean. Daikon was like, the magic. I guess they call the coke the magic. Or the heroin the magic. Yeah, that's right, because the highest does heroin. Definitely does heroin because River be having to do the little needle for him. What was it? Yeah, it's definitely not coke or crack. It's definitely heroin. So they call it the magic. So Daikon was like, the magic. So River was like, I gave him the usual amount. Daikon was like, well, why it's all gone then? So River, he's like, I don't know what you mean. Daikon was like, yes, you do. Then River was like, can we not do this? Daikon, here he goes, what did you just say to me? What you mean? Can we not do this? So River was like, look, you know how much the highest takes. Daikon was like, that wasn't enough. That's not enough to, he says that was enough to kill him. River was like, well, good thing it wasn't a lot. I was like, what? It wasn't a lot, was it not? Yeah, he said, so River says, well, good thing it wasn't a lot. And Daikon was like, well, where's the rest of it at? He was like, then River was like, well, just ask the other, he was like, ask the other men, and they'll tell you the highest has been taking more. He was like, ask the other boys, and they'll tell you the highest has been taking more magic than usual. So I'm thinking, like, he got more boys than River that come through. So Daikon was like, well, why didn't you ever tell me that? River was like, what, so you could put me back in the cooler? So then Daikon, because at this point, River trying to deflect. Because Daikon's asking him, where's the rest of the magic? So Daikon was like, where's the rest of it? Then River was like, well, I threw it away. Then Daikon was like, well, which one is it? Because you basically were just alluding to that he took too much and took all of it and didn't realize it. So he was like, which one is it? Did the highest use it all, or did you throw it away? River was like, he mixed it and got rid of the rest. He was like, you should know how deadly that stuff is. He's like, he trying to look out for the highest, and Daikon should be helping him. Daikon was like, you so full of shit. River was like, I'm telling the truth. And Daikon, he was like, I will find out. He always tells him, I will find out. But be the last to find out shit. And the highest be finding out shit before him. That's why you almost cut your damn, arm off or something like that? He was like, I will find out. River was like, you always do. He was being sarcastic as hell when he said that, because this nigga Daikon don't be finding out shit. Shit, River found out before Daikon. But River, he was like, well, you always do. Then Daikon tells River, from now on, I want to know exactly how much you giving the highest. River was like, of course, every time you'll know. So we back at the little pavilion. Aaron then came back from the bathroom. The mother telling Aaron, like, eat the whole meal. Aaron was like, oh, I can't. I'm full. I'm stuffed. Joan was like, well, Aaron, you don't want the older mother to think you don't like her food. Laura was like, oh, no, he loves it. Elder mother was like, we'll eat the rest. Aaron takes another, like, big bite. Elder mother was like, good boy. I was like, oh, Lord. So Laura was like, well, the food was so good. And she's like, we're so fortunate to be here. Still playing the part, but I do feel like the food's starting to kick in for Laura. Yeah, she's starting to feel the effects. So the elder mother was like, that's what good food does for you. Laura was like, I just feel so much better. So I was like, oh, it's kicking in for her. Because, Laura was already eating before Aaron came over there. She tried to wait until he came. And they was like, nonsense. Eat it while it's hot. So that shit probably already kicking in for her. Aaron just got back and started eating. So it probably definitely ain't kicking for him yet. So Laura was like, I feel so much better. She asked Aaron, she was like, do you? Aaron, he says, you can still kind of read. You can hear the tone in Aaron's voice that he still don't buy the shit. And you can kind of read his facial expression that he still don't buy the shit. But he says in this moment, he was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, I feel better too. And the mother was like, well, that's so good to hear. She's like, well, it's getting late. John was like, yeah, we should go get some rest. So Aaron and Laura, they looking at each other. Like what's that about to entail? So then the mother, she calls River over. She's like, take Aaron to the men's trailer. So Aaron's like, we can't stay together. Talking about him and his wife, him and Laura. Elder mother was like, oh no. Laura was like, why not? The elder mother was like, that's not the way of the Raku. So Aaron was like, well, what is the way? The elder mother was like, well, the men and the women, they sleep separate. Aaron was like, but we married. That shit don't mean nothing then. They gonna run a train on your wife if they cleanse her, right? Ain't that what they do? To cleanse them? To cleanse the woman? They like run a train on them? That's what they did to Ruth. And then Aaron, he gonna have to get fucked by the highest. That's a wild ass initiation cult, whatever. Wild ass cult situation. This is a wild ass show. Hate the dialogue sometimes, how slow it is, but it's all in all. So like I always say, Tyler Perry shows always have like good ass plots and situations and stuff. I don't like how thirsty he be making men on his shows. I don't like that. And I don't like the slow dialogue. Other than that, the shows be bomb. The slow dialogue and the way he makes men seem so thirsty. Like, if a woman tell you, nah, I'm good the first time, you don't keep persisting like 4 or 5 times. Real niggas do not do that type of stuff. They not that thirsty in real life. But on his shows, he be making men so thirsty. It'd be cringy to watch. But anyway, so Aaron was like, well, we're married. And the mother was like, well, not in the eyes of the Raku. So Lauren was like, it's fine. I'll see you in the morning, babe. And it looked like they wanted to kiss, but they felt like that probably would have offended them or something. So they just hugged. River escorts Aaron off. Zane walks up and is like, and I'll be taking you to the women's trailer, saying that to Laura. So she escorts Laura off. So Joan believed that Aaron and Laura is back on board. So Joan buying the shit. Joan gets the the mother, you are a miracle worker. The mother was like, you know that little thing she do, that little. So she get we need to keep an eye on him, on Aaron. Joan was like, why? The mother was like, the food seemed to work on Laura because she's happier now. I was like, yeah, it might have worked on her, but I feel like she might be loopy, but she's still like playing the game, trying to appease to them. So she was like, it worked on Laura. She seems happier. Elder Mother was like, but Aaron, she's like, I think it was the wrong dosage. Elder Mother was like, it's fine. I mean, Joan was like, it's fine. Elder Mother was like, I don't think so. We keep an eye on him. Joan was like, well, I feel like it's fine. She was like, you want me to take you to your trailer, Elder Mother? And then in this moment, Elder Mother proves why Ruth's story could be true. Joan was like, you want me to walk you to your trailer, Elder Mother? Elder Mother was like, no. And then she issues over a dude. She's like, I want him. I want something big, black, and strong. I was just like, ew, bruh. I even put, in parentheses, I put ew. But yeah, I was just like, bruh. You showing exactly why Daikon would believe the story that Ruth gave. It's not far off, shoot. It's something that she probably would actually do. Remember what she did to the, what was the dude's name? What happened to him, too? The one that was, that used to be with Oliver all the time. I can't remember his name. But she came on to him and he kind of declined. And she did something to get him in trouble. I can't remember what it was. I don't be remembering all that. But anyway, Elder Mother, you proving why. I mean, you basically showing how Ruth's story could be true. So Ruth and Joan walk up to each other, start talking. Ruth tells Joan, it's fine, like, it's fine. Talking about, like, the highest. She was like, the highest is up and around. Joan was like, thank the Raku. And I think in this moment, Ruth said something like, bitch, you got me fucked up, or bitch, is you crazy? Something like that. I was like, why'd she say that? But then Joan was like, is River still with us? Like, is he still with them on the scam or whatever? Ruth was like, River is fine. She's like, I can't hold all this shit together alone. Joan was like, what you think I'm doing? Ruth was like, well, whatever you doing, you're not doing it fast enough. I mean, what you expect Joan to do? They go to the bank every morning? That's why I said this show moves so slow. I don't even be knowing the time frames and stuff. When do they go to the banks? I don't remember. Do they go like once a week? I don't know. What you expect Joan to do? She can't go nowhere, do nothing get the more money without the highest. I don't know. But she was like, what you expect me to do? Ruth was like, whatever you doing, you ain't doing it fast enough. So she was like, go to bed, Joan. Joan was like, yes, sister. Ruth was like, it's Elder. I was like, girl, she stayed with that. She stayed hitting that. Joan was like, yes, Elder Ruth. So then she was like, you sure are fond of that name. Seems to be more fond of it than the Raku. So I was like, Ruth just trying to get that power. She probably can get so much influence over the highest, she probably can get out of there. I don't know. So River and Aaron, they walk into the men's trailer. River's like, this should be fun. Aaron was like, what should be fun? River was like, well, you staying the night. Aaron was like, why is that? River was like, well, you get to see how we really live. Aaron was like, I can't wait. Aaron ain't with the shit. So at this moment, Aaron, he quickly makes himself throw up. So I said, okay, Aaron, that's what I'm talking about. I put smart man. Because he obviously seen the signs. They making him, they put pressure on them to eat, like telling them to eat. They telling them we full. They still saying, nah, eat it all. So Aaron knows that. So he throws that shit up. So River was like, are you okay? Aaron was like, yeah, I just had too much food. River was like, how much? Aaron was like, I had all of it. So that's when River was like, maybe I should go get the Elder Mother. Aaron was like, no. All she gonna do is give his ass more food and sit with his ass and make sure it digests. So River was like, no, I should go get it. Aaron was like, no, I'm good. Let's go to the trailer. I'm tired. River was like, you sure? Aaron was like, yes, I'm sure. Hell yeah, he's sure. River was like, all right. So Aaron started grilling River ass. He's like, where they taking my wife? Then River wild ass. So you know that they already skeptical. So before when they first got there, they wasn't skeptical. They was down with the cult, down with everything with the cult. And Ruth was making those little statements that she was making to Alora, saying, "Oh, we torture and kill people," saying stuff jokingly. Well, Ruth wasn't really saying it jokingly to me, but Laura took him as jokes. That was before they found out how this place was. But now you know that they suspicious of this place. And you say in this moment, he was like, Aaron's like, where they taking my wife? And River was like, to be killed. Aaron was like, what? I was just like, bruh. The River started busting out laughing. He was like, I'm joking. And I was just like, bruh, like, right now you don't joke about it. I could see before they came. I mean, when they first got there. But I guess they feel like Laura and Aaron ain't getting out anyway, so why not make these little jokes? And Aaron was like, that's not something to joke about. And River was like, relax. You need to relax. He was like, they're taking her to the women's trailer. So Aaron was like, where's that? River points. He's like, over there. Aaron was like, no, where is it exactly? He's trying to find out where the hell they got his wife at. I know that's right. Shoot, I don't blame him. It's sad, though, that Aaron and Laura, that they in this situation, and if they'd have caught Ruth and them before they teamed up with River and them, they probably would have had a chance. But now all they care about is this money. Like Ruth, Joan, and River, they care about this money. So they are willing to let Laura and Aaron die to keep this thing going so they can get this money. Which is sad, because it's just like this couple just wanted to go through a spiritual journey. It's so sad. And then Zane, she just, she done snapped. She trying to gain trust, but she also has snapped in the brain after she done had her first kill. So they don't care for real about Aaron and Laura. So Aaron asks, where's that exactly? Where's the women's trailer exactly? River's like, well, you need to relax. He was like, your wife will be fine. Aaron was like, I saw the freight trailer in the back. And River was like, well, we keep our supplies in there. So Aaron was like, well, I heard children. And River was like, well, they like to play hide and seek. And then Aaron hit him with this was at night. And then even River in this moment, he was like, well, I don't know what to say to that. Then he cuts him off. He's like, no more talking. Let's just keep walking. So then they walk into the trailer. River's like, don't mind the smell, whatever. He tries to take Aaron's bag. Aaron's like, no, I got it. I want my bag. River's like, well, you don't really have a choice here. Aaron's like, well, I want to use it as a pillow. I want to use my bag as a pillow. So then River get there. You're going to have a hard time here. Aaron's like, why? River says, because how hard you're holding on to that bag. He's like, all of our possessions belong to the highest. Aaron was like, not this. Talking about his bag, like, not this. River was like, okay, man. River tells Aaron he's going to have to sleep on the floor. He's like, unless you want to bunk with me. Because, River been making these little passes at Aaron since he got there. So it's weird. So he's like, unless you want to bunk with me. And even Aaron told his wife, he was like, I think dude was making a pass at me. So he's like, unless you want to bunk with me. Aaron was like, nah, I'm good. Floor is fine. River's like, you sure? Aaron was like, hell yeah, I'm sure. So then Aaron hears a noise and he's like, what's that? And River's like, oh, well, we get locked in that night. And Aaron was like, what? River was like, it's for our protection. And Aaron was like, he was like, what are you saying to me right now? I had to make sure I wrote that down because he was like, what are you saying to me right now? Like, what? So River was like, well, so that the government can't come in. Aaron was like, well, what if there's a fire? River, he was like, well, you think all these big men gonna let us die in here? Hell no. He was like, relax. Then he turns around and was like, can you unzip me? Like, telling Aaron to unzip his robe. I was like, ew. But Aaron does it. They lay down and say goodnight. It was just weird. Then they go to Zane and Laura in the women's trailer. Zane showing Laura her bed. She was like, this was my friend's bed. She was like, I slept here. Paula slept there. Lacey slept there. Laura was like, well, where are they now? Zane was like, they graduated. So imagine Zane don't know that Lacey's alive. I wonder how she gonna feel about that. So Laura was like, what does that mean they graduated? So Zane was like, they got to be with the Raku. Laura was like, where did they go? So mind you, Laura's still a little loopy from the food that Elder Mother gave her. She's still like in a little happy place. So I feel like if she was more alert and like not on the drugs, these words, I mean this stuff that Zane's saying would be clear as day to her. But I feel like since she loopy, she not really catching on to what Zane's saying. So Laura was like, where do they go? So Zane was like, to be in a better place. So Zane was like, do you like it here? Laura was like, yeah, I love it here. I love the colors and stuff. So I was like, damn, that shit done hit her. So when she said that, she was like, I love the colors of it all. I was like, bruh. I was like, they got her ass. But as the conversation goes along, it kind of seems like Laura, although is like loopy off these drugs, she still kind of like has some senses. Where am I? I think I went down. Where are they? Oh yeah, so so Laura was like, yeah, I love the colors of it all. Zane was like, well, wait till you hear the highest speak. So Laura was like, will he be speaking in the morning? So she's still asking some okay questions, smart questions, trying to figure out what's happening in the morning. So Zane was like, well, he's not on a schedule. He has to be led. So Laura was like, okay, I look forward to it. So Zane was like, well, I hope the highest lets you stay. Laura was like, me too. Zane starts telling Laura it's so great here. She was like, it was hard for me when I first got here, but now it's not. Laura was like, well, I guess you figured it out, huh? Zane was like, yep. She was like, and I need a new friend. She was like, would you like to be my new friend, Laura? I was like, how old are we right now? So Laura was like, I would love to. Super high. So Zane was like, deal. You'll be my new friend. Zane was like, I miss Paula and Lacey. So Zane was like, what's her name? Laura was like, do you see them? Zane was like, no. Laura was like, why not? Aren't they here? Zane was like, I can't see them now. They're with the Raku. She was like, they're dead. So then Laura was like, dead? And Laura was like, what happened to them? Zane was like, well, I can't tell you that. So then in this moment, Laura was like, okay. She was like, I thought we were friends, but okay. I was like, oh, okay. She's just trying to see. I was like, she ain't that loopy apparently. That's what I wrote. Zane was like, well, I have to trust you first. Laura was like, oh, I understand. Laura was like, where's the bathroom? Zane was like, well, you can't go right now. She tells her, like, it's a little bucket around the corner. You use that and we dump it in the morning. Laura was like, why can't we go? So I was like, it's the Raku way. So Zane tells Laura lay down. So Laura lays down and Zane was like, thank you. And Laura was like, for what? And Zane was like, for being here. I needed a new friend. Laura was like, yeah, of course. They say goodnight to each other. I was like, Zane has gone crazy. So it's the next morning. And we only know that because River wakes Aaron up and is like, good morning. So Aaron was like, what time is it? River was like, it's 5:30. I was like, damn, that's early as hell. I was like, is the sun even up? So Aaron was like, do y'all always get up this early? River was like, it's the Raku way. So Aaron get to looking around. He was like, where all the guys go? River was like, well, they went to their posts and to training. Aaron asked, well, he was like, where's my wife? And he was like, well, she would have gotten up about an hour ago to start preparing breakfast for the men. So he was like, so come on, Aaron, let's get up, let's go. Aaron tries to like go for his bag. River was like, oh no, you have to leave your bag here. Aaron was like, I can't. River was like, why? He was like, well, Aaron was like, it's my belongings. River was like, well, if you're gonna be a part of the Raku, all your belongings belong to the highest, like he told him yesterday, the night before. He's like, you need to leave the bag because it looks suspicious and the highest doesn't like suspicious. So Aaron finally says, okay, like, he finally gives in. So I'm thinking to myself, obviously this phone is in the bag and that's why he's not trying to let it go. And I was in my head like, why the hell why he ain't keep that junk on his person when he first like showed the junk? When he first showed the phone to Laura, he should have kept it on his person. They never got searched or anything since they got in the camp. They got searched when they first got in the camp, which makes me wonder like, why the hell did they get searched? I can't remember, but they never found that phone, which I thought was crazy. But I'm thinking at this moment, like, it got to be in the bag because he protecting that bag with his life. But in this moment, he finally gives in. He says, okay. So River leaves out the trailer first, and Aaron quickly grabs the phone out the bag. It was in the bag, and puts it on his person. I was like, nigga, you should have been did that. I thought he been did that, and I thought that's why he was trying to go to the bathroom that time. And when he went with Manny, and that's why I kept thinking he was trying to get, when he told Manny to step off, I thought he had the phone on him and was trying to make a call or something. But I'm like, does Aaron even know where the little cell tower is? Because I don't think they ever said where it was. So then you get this little scene with the soldier, I don't know his name, the soldier that, the one that Joan made tell the little story to Aaron and Laura about being on drugs and being contained and whatever. So he says to Manny, like, oh, you seem to be moving better. Manny was like, yeah, but I need more. Soldier's like, what more? What's that? Manny was like, well, Ruth helped me out. The soldier was like, how? How did she help you out? Manny was like, she gave me some pain meds. And the soldier was like, why would she do that? And Manny was like, well, she hates the elder mother. He tells the soldier, and Daikon seen her. He was pissed. And he tells him, so she told Daikon that it was the elder mother that did that to his dick or whatever. The soldier asked Manny, he was like, did Daikon buy it? Like, did he buy the story? Manny was like, I don't know, but he might come asking, so he might come ask you. And the soldier's like, yeah, you know I got you. I'm just like, make sure you tell the other soldiers, because that shit been going around. They've been talking about it. He wasn't the only soldier to hear about it. Somebody else heard about it too, another soldier. I can't remember who it was. So now we outside. It's the daytime. We ain't had one of these things in a minute. It's always been these enclosed situations with like two or three people. Outside is daylight. Everybody in the line, like all the men in line to eat. And the women serving. So Elder Mother walks over and starts sprinkling stuff across the food and was like, make sure all the men eat this. So Ruth and Joan looking like suspicious, looking weird. Elder Mother walks off and Joan was like, what do you think that was? Like what she sprinkled. Ruth was like, well, you know damn well what it was. Joan was like, well, if I knew, I wouldn't have asked. Ruth was like, well, it's the shit that she puts in the food to make us happy and feel good. Joan was like, well, I know that. I want to know exactly like what it is. Ruth was like, well, if I knew, I would tell you. Joan was like, well, we need to find out. Ruth was like, what the hell you think I've been trying to do? I've been trying to find out. Joan was like, well, try harder. Ruth was like, well, I was the one that got River to find out the prescription of the drug that they was putting in the food. So I was like, didn't that just contradict what she just said? Said if she knew, she told him? Well, I don't know. But then in this moment, Joan was like, well, where are they? I mean, what are they? Ruth says that she said she wrote them down, but she don't know what they do. So I guess. Joan was like, well, what are the names of the prescriptions? Ruth was like, do I look like a fucking pharmacist? I don't know how to pronounce the damn prescriptions or whatever. So Joan was like, well, you knew about the Narcan to get the highest back up. Then Rufus was like, that's because I'm a street bitch. I was like, how many times we gotta hear Rufus a street bitch? Well, I'm from the streets. Switch up the lingo. We get Rufus from the streets. Give us like a little quick story. Well, you know, I had this little John that overdosed in the club, in the back of the club, and we had to do this, da da da. Give us a little story, make Roof seem more ruthless. Don't just keep saying I'm a street bitch or I'm from the streets. Like, come on, man, we get that. But what street situation helped you know about Narcan? That's what you should have explained. Instead of all this extra dialogue with the, okay, are you sure? Are you sure? What are you, like, oh my God. It's just annoying, like, man. So she's like, because I'm a street bitch. And Joan gets the language. I'm just like, bruh, rolls my eyes. I even put the rolling eye emoji. It's like, come on. So Ruth was like, I'm getting sick of you. Says that to Joan. She's like, I just want to get this money and leave. So then, excuse me. So other mother approaches and was like, I'm about to go to the infirmary. Super happy. So you know what that means. About to go fuck with Lacey. So Joan asked Elder Mother if she okay. She's like, you okay, Elder Mother? Elder Mother was like, she was all smiling. She was like, yes, I have a patient back at the infirmary. So you know she talk about Lacey. So Elder Mother was like, if the highest wants his food, come get me. It looks at Ruth and was like, come get me. Like, come get me. Because you know Ruth been trying to give him his food and stuff. And she been trying to find out what Elder Mother put in the food. So Joan get to asking Ruth, who's in the infirmary? So remember when Ruth went in there to get the Narcan, she saw Lacey alert. Lacey grabbed her ass and was like, please kill me. So Ruth tells her there's Lacey in the infirmary. So Joan was like, well, I thought she died at the gates. Got shot up. Ruth was like, I bet she wish she did. I was in that moment like, I ain't lying, man. I bet she wish she did die. Because, like, Elder Mother is not going to play with her ass. Or the highest. But like I said last episode, I think Lacey is going to end up being one of the ones that make it out. I don't know what it is. She done tried to get out twice and she failed. But I feel like she's going to be one of the ones that make it out. I could be wrong, though. Lacey could probably die the next episode. But I don't know. I got a weird feeling that Lacey is going to be one of the ones that make it out. So Joan says, she's alive? Lacey's alive? Ruth was like, barely. So she was like, all right, stop talking about it, because Zane's is coming up, and we don't want her to hear it. Joan was like, yeah, I know. Ruth was like, no, you don't know. Zane has gone batshit crazy. She's like, you don't know. Zane has gone batshit crazy. Then she's like, hey, Zane. So Zane and Laura, they woke up. So Joan asked Laura, she was like, how'd you sleep? And Laura was like, I slept well. And she was like, surprisingly. So then Joan was like, why surprisingly? And Laura was like, well, it's just so hot. Joan was like, oh, you'll get used to it. She was like, plus, it cleans the toxins out of your body. And I was like, is that true? Because I love me a nice toasty room. Like, most people like a nice air-conditioned room and all that. I love me a nice toasty room. I don't know what it is about me. I'm a fall baby. I just love me a nice toasty room. Is that true, though? Shoot, he gets rid of toxins? Gets the toxins out your body? I don't know. Maybe she was just saying that shit. I don't know. But then Zane tells Laura, she was like, oh, you can help with the food. Ruth was like, no, she can't. So Zane was like, why not? Ruth was like, because she's not one of us. She hasn't been cleansed yet. So Zane was like, oh, I'm sorry, Laura. Laura was like, oh, no, it's fine. So Ruth was like, Laura can stand over there and watch and observe. So Laura was like, well, I'm actually hungry. Is it cool if I feel like she was about to say, can I make like a play? Ruth was like, no, you can't. And Joan was like, well, what Ruth means to say is that the men eat first and then the women eat. So Laura was like, is that so? Joan was like, well, that's our custom. Laura was like, well, can I at least get some water? Ruth was like, no, the men eat first. Then the woman. Where am I? She was like, the men are our protectors and providers. So they eat first. So then Joan Joan just like ushers Laura, like, it's like, just step back, Laura, and watch, observe, or whatever. Laura was like, okay, whatever. So Joan tells Ruth, she's like, stop being so rude. Stop being so mean. Like, stop it. So Ruth was like, if you think I'm going to make it easy for these people that you done brung up in here to rob us blind, you got another thing coming, da-da-da. Joan was like, they not here for that. I keep telling you this. Ruth was like, she was like, I don't trust that, she was like, I don't trust that. She was like, I know that they up to something with you, with Joan. Joan was like, well, there's nothing I can say if you believe that. So then the men, they starting to approach, getting their food. Manny tries to say something to Ruth. Ruth was like, keep moving along, Manny. So then River and Aaron woke up. River was like, can Aaron eat? And Ruth was like, yeah, if he's a man. So Aaron says hi to his wife, to Laura. She says hi back. Ruth was like, you should eat and not talk to the women, not speak to the women. So Aaron was like, that's my wife. Ruth was like, you should eat and not talk to the woman. She just repeats herself and gets louder. Then she was like, River, you should teach him the way. River was like, yes, Elder Ruth. He was like, have you seen the highest? Like, right in front of Aaron. Ruth was like, not this morning. Then River asked if he's okay. I was like, how would she know that if she just said she ain't seen him? She even says in that moment, she was like, how would I know that? How am I supposed to know? So Joan interjects and was like, move along, River. I was like, nigga, why you asking all this stuff right here, right now? So then Ruth asked Joan, she was like, is that the last of the men? And Joan was like, what'd she say? She's like, yep, that's the last of them. So Ruth was like, well, did Daikon eat? And Joan was like, Daikon always do this shit. He knows that we can't eat until all the men have eaten. And he does that. So Ruth get to walking off. Joan was like, where you going? And Ruth was like, well, I'm going to find Daikon. Joan was like, well, be careful. Ruth was like, I got this. But from this last scene, we can't tell that she got... Oh, it's not the last scene. From the last scene, we know that she don't got this. So then we get to this scene. Elder Mother's in the infirmary with Lacey. She's awake. I was like, poor Lacey, if only she could play dead for a long-ass time. Like, imagine if you had the ability to just play dead for a long... But nah, then they would have cut her body up and yeah. So, yeah, I guess she had no choice but to be awake. So Elder Mother was like, oh, I see you made it through the night. I'm like, how many bullet things she had in her? So Elder Mother tells her, I got the bullets out. Starts telling her this story about when she was a little girl in Jamaica. They had this mule named Sadie. I don't know if they mean an actual mule or if they mean like a runner named Sadie. And it says that she was stubborn. And the Elder Mother says she watched her father break Sadie over and over again. And that was his proudest moment. She says people didn't believe that he could do it, but he did it. She was like, and that's exactly what I'm going to do to you, Lacey. So I'm just like, poor Lacey. I can only imagine. So Lacey was like, yes, Elder Mother. I'm just like, so Elder Mother was like, oh, she speaks. So Lacey was like, I've learned my lesson. I was like, bitch, that don't even mean anything. Even if you have, Elder Mother do not care about that. So she was like, I learned my lesson. What'd she say? Elder Mother was like, already? Lacey was like, well, I know I can't fight against the Raku. And Elder Mother was like, no, you can't. Lacey was like, I've been stabbed. Elder Mother was like, now you've been shot. Lacey was like, yeah, I've been shot. She's like, I'm just a stupid girl. Lacey says, I'm just a stupid girl. You know Elder Mother stay hitting that. You stupid girl. So Lacey was like, I'm just a stupid girl. Elder Mother was like, yes, you are. So Lacey was like, what do I have to do to show you that I learned my lesson? Elder Mother was like, suffer. You got to suffer. So Lacey was like, yes, Elder Mother, of course. Elder Mother was like, are you in pain? So Lacey was like, it don't matter. Elder was like, why not? Lacey was like, because you gonna make it hurt worse if I say yes. Elder mother was like, oh, you learned me, huh? You learned my ways, huh? She was like, yep. Lacey was like, yes, I did. And Elder mother was like, well, I could also give you pain meds. And Lacey was like, well, you told me that pain meds would be more pain. So Elder mother was like, oh, you remembered that, huh? So Elder mother was like, can you stand and give her something to drink? So Lacey was like, what is this? Elder mother don't tell her what it is. So she was like, can you stand? And Lacey was like, I don't think so. Elder mother was like, sure you can. Lacey tries to get up a little bit. She was like, Lacey was like, I feel like I'm about to faint. Elder mother was like, well, it's a lot of things around for you to fall and hit your head on. I was like, damn. She was like, I was going to get you breakfast, but I need to find out if you're going to live or die. So Lacey was like, what? Elder mother was like, well, I have to tell the highest that you're alive. And see what he wants to do with you. So Lacey starts, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Elder mother was like, you will be sorry. So I'm just like, poor Lacey, man. But I still feel like after all Lacey's enduring, she going to get out of there. I just feel it. I hope so. I hope she gets out of there. So now we get to this final scene. Ruth, she goes to knock on Daikon's trailer. She's like, it's Ruth. Daikon like, go away. And Ruth was like, Daikon, are you having breakfast? He's like, no. She was like, well, you know the woman can't eat. He cussed her off and was like, what did I just say? No. So Ruth just barges in. And Daikon's like, what the hell? You know, he hit her, what the hell? So she was like, I need you to go have breakfast. And Daikon was like, no. So Ruth was like, well, you know the women can't eat until all the men have eaten. So Daikon was like, let them starve. Let them starve. So Ruth was like, there's some good women out there. Some women that's out there that's pregnant. Daikon was like, he looks at Ruth's belly and was like, yeah, some. So Ruth was like, including me. Like, I'm pregnant too. Daikon was like, are you really pregnant? God damn it. Shit done scrolled all the way to the top. Right when I get to the end, I want to do that. Where am I? Oh yeah, he was like, so he was like, are you really pregnant? Ruth was like, what does that mean? So Daikon approaches her and starts like squeezing at her stomach a little bit. He's like, because your belly is just so flat. So Ruth pushes his hand away and was like, well, you should talk to the elder mother. So Daikon was like, why would I talk to that old bitch? So Ruth was like, well, first, she could tell you about my pregnancy test. And how it was positive. And then she was like, and second, she was like, and second, you need to talk to her about what she did to Manny. So I was in this moment like, why is she urging Daikon to talk to Elder Mother about that when she know it's a lie? I mean, of course, Elder Mother gonna deny it and Daikon ain't gonna believe it, so that's probably what she's thinking. But I'm like in this moment too. I'm like, is she trying to get Manny jammed up too? I wouldn't be mad at that. Shoot, Manny's a rapist. So Daikon was like, yeah, I've been thinking about that. Ruth was like, yeah, I know you'll set it straight. She was like, so can I please bring you breakfast? So Daikon was like, well, you think you so special, so in control. He was like, I can't wait till the highest turns on you. He was like, it was disgusting seeing him on top of you. Ruth was like, it turns you on. Daikon was like, I will put your head through a wall. Ruth was like, sorry, Daikon. So they started to have like this little sexual tension, I guess. So Daikon was like, I wasn't turned on by you. I was turned on by the highest. I love him. He was like, I love the highest and you're nothing to me. He was like, women are nothing. Roof was like, yes, Daikon. The yes, no, I get it. But it's just like, it's annoying. So then Daikon, he just opens his trailer door, calls some random woman in there, some random Rakadushi woman. Calls her in there. She young, she looked like she couldn't be no more than like 21. Maybe 20, I don't know. 19 maybe. Kind of look 19 to me. But he calls her in there and tells her to get undressed. She's like, yes, Daikon. Takes all her clothes off. Roof tries to leave. Daikon was like, nope, you stay right there. He bends the girl over on the bed. Roof was like, I'm getting out of here, Daikon. Daikon was like, don't you fucking move, whatever. So right before he... this is about to be so vulgar, but like right before he slides his dick in the girl, he grabs her neck and tells her to keep her eyes on Roof, like not to take her eyes off of Roof. So then they start fucking or whatever. Roof steady saying Daikon about to, like, what are you doing? Like, Daikon, like, just saying his name or whatever. He's saying repeatedly why he fucking the girl. You stay right there to Roof. Looking at Roof. You stay right there. So Roof tries to leave out the trailer again. Daikon gets up off the girl, runs to stop Roof. Roof pushes him down on the bed and tells the girl to get out. It's like, get dressed and get out. It's like, hurry the hell up, get out. So the girl, she leaves, she runs up out of there. Daikon comes, grabs her by the throat. It's like, who do you think you are? Roof grabs a goddamn frying pan and smacks him upside the head with it. The hit looks super fake, though. Daikon falls to the floor. Like, are you crazy? Roof was like, I am. Daikon gets up. Like, I will fucking kill you. Roof spits in his face. He's like, my mouth wasn't open, bitch. Then he gestures like he about to hit her. She's like, go ahead. Right here in the face. Right here. And Daikon was like, oh, so you can tell the highest? Roof was like, yep. So he can he can kill you. Daikon was like, well, I tell the highest what we did myself with him, and like they've been sleeping together, whatever. Roof was like, well, we'll die together. Daikon was like, you crazy? Then she grabs his balls. He was like, what are you doing? She was like, I'm not. She was like, you think I'm gonna let you disrespect me with one of these women? She's like, I'm not one of these little bitches around here. She was like, you belong to me. Daikon was like, let go. He was like, you belong to the highest. Roof was like, she was like, and you both belong to me. Don't forget that. She was like, I'll turn my back and let you fuck the highest and give him the things that I can't. But what you not gonna do is sleep with the women in the camp. Daikon, he says again, like, let me go. So she finally lets his balls go. Roof was like, don't make me do that again. So, Daikon was like, who the hell do you think you are? So then Roof kisses Daikon. I'm thinking in this moment, somebody's about to walk in this trailer. I'm thinking it's going to be the highest. It's the morning time. Why wouldn't he be looking for them? So Daikon was like, who the hell do you think you are? And Roof kisses him. So she was like, so now come out here and eat for the freaking women can eat. And she starts to leave his trailer. And as she opens the door, the highest is standing right there. And Roof was like, oh, hi, your highest. But I will say, Roof didn't make her face look surprised or nothing. Soon as she opened the door and saw the highest right there, she was just like, hi, your highest. Like nothing, like it was nothing. You know she gonna play it off. She probably gonna tell the truth in a sense. She was like, well, I came to get Daikon because the women can't eat before he eats. Or whatever. So yeah, that's how it ended. She opened the door, the highest was right there. Like I said, yeah, I would grade this episode an A- because we finally got some little moving parts. Like we finally got some moving situations. We was outside this time, so I just felt like it was a better episode. Predictions for episodes to come. Like I just said, I feel like Roof probably just gonna tell the highest the truth. Like I came to get Daikon because we can't eat until he eats. Da da da. I wonder if the highest seen the girl fleeing from Daikon's trailer, like, still getting dressed. Or if anybody's seen that for that matter. What else? I hope Aaron can get a call out, man. And if he can get a call out, who he gonna call? Ghostbusters. But who he gonna call? Man, I'm wondering what the hell the elder mother gonna do with Lacey. And I'm waiting to see how Zane gonna react when she found out Lacey survived. It's a whole lot of stuff. They still trying to get this money. The FBI dealing with the sheriff. We probably gonna see some more of that next episode. But yeah. Thanks for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Those are the most two important things that you can do that can help my channel, and it's free. Yeah, those are the most two important things. Two suggested things are to hit the notification bell and share this video. Those are two suggested things. But also comment below what you thought of this episode, what you thought about what I talked about, anything about the show that I missed, anything of that nature, what you would grade the episode, all that good stuff. I will see y'all next time. Peace.